guys, today I'm going to teach you one of the fundamental skills of metalsmithing called annealing. Annealing is one of the basic skills that we use for almost every type of jewelry making project. It's how we make our metal soft before we form it into something like a ring or a bracelet. Today I'm going to be demoing this on a piece of sterling silver, but this is the exact same process you'll use for brass, copper, gold, really any metal that you use in jewelry making. You only need a couple supplies for this. Your piece of metal, you'll need a fire source. I'm using an oxyacetylene torch setup, but you can use your at-home handheld torch as well. It's the same process. Flux, which is used to protect our metal. I'm gonna be using a pliers clamp, that's a tabletop clamp to hold my piece of metal still while I'm working. And then last, a piece of ceramic to work on. The ceramic's important because it holds our heat. All of these things can be bought at your local jewelry supply store. So I've clamped my jewelry down here in the clamp, and the first thing you want to do is to cover your piece of metal with flux. And it's really not, putting the flux on doesn't have to be precise. You can just kind of slop it on. The cool thing about annealing is that we're actually going to be changing the physical makeup of this piece of silver from the inside. And we're going to make it so that it's so soft we can bend it with our hands. So when we're annealing, we're just going to go very, very slowly back and forth with our heat source across the surface of our piece of metal. And it's important that we have a strong, focused, and slow flame so that we're able to heat the entire piece consistently. As you can see, we don't have any thermometers or anything to tell us about the temperature of this metal. So our main tool that we'll be using is our eyesight. And what we're looking for is a bright orange color throughout the entire piece of metal. If you can see up at the top here, I'm starting to get a little bit of red, and that's a great sign. This black and discoloration that's happening on the surface of the metal is called fire scale. And fire scale is basically just the other types of metal like aluminum and things like that rising to the surface. That'll all be taken off with polishing. Okay, great. You see that bright orange? That's exactly what we want, and we want that to drag all the way throughout the piece. I see that it stayed to the end, so I know that I'm done. And then your very last step, and this is like the most satisfying thing ever, is the quench. I'm gonna pull that piece of silver out, and as you can see, now it's nice and soft. So that's it, that's annealing, and it's the basis of how we make so many things. Rings, bracelets, necklaces, earrings. It's one of the fundamentals of jewelry making.